Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Window Shopping. I am your host, Stephen Meade with Domicile Real Estate for people who love houses. And this is where I virtually and vicariously spend your money on cool houses here in Southern California. And, one of the things that I love is when a home comes up for sale and I feel like it is cheaper than I was expecting, right? When I scrolled to see the price and I look what you're getting, and I'm surprised by how much you're actually getting. And that does not normally happen anymore. So let's go ahead and take a look. This one, I don't think it's going to last very long, but it's a super cool house. It's the kind of home that sort of pulls at my own heartstrings personally. Let's go ahead and take a look at this home. So this is 20449 East Rancho Los Cerritos in Covina, California, a city that we normally do not feature homes. And, this house has a lot of great attributes. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, but it is over 2,600 square feet. This is a big house, and perhaps even more remarkable is that this home sits on a lot of about 35,000 square feet. That is a big, big lot. It was built in the early 1960s. And, this one is not our listing. It is listed by a very, very lovely woman and her husband, Tamara Suminski and Chris Duff with Beach Real Estate Group. But I'm going to tell you something that even they would tell you, and that is, as a buyer, you really want your own representation. You want someone who is looking out for your best interests. If you were going through a divorce, would you use your soon-to-be ex-spouse's attorney? No, you would have your own attorney. And real estate is the same way. You're spending $1.1 million in this case, on a home. You really deserve your own representation. So one of the things I kind of like about this house already is sort of this approach from the street, right? It's kind of sitting up here at an angle. You drive through this like motorized gate, like a motor court, to get this property. I mean, really, there's nothing in this price point that is going to have features like these. And then this is that motor court when you pull up. So I do have a feeling that there might have been some extra garage space in here at one point in time underneath, and that has been converted to living space. So this home exists on several different levels, right? And I mean that both in the sort of metaphorical sense and in the physical sense, right? You've got kind of a cool element that was really popular here in Southern California. And that's kind of this flagstone slate entryway. A lot of homes had this. Of course, today it would almost be cost prohibitive to do that. By the way, you get a glimpse already of really a great living room up above here. This is the living room space. And those of you who have watched me for a while will know that one of the things I love is when there's a little bit of architectural restraint. I think nothing is more exasperating than seeing a home that is just trying too hard to be cool, right? Great design is effortless. And this home really exemplifies that. And what did they get right? Number one, they picked a great palette of materials and they stuck to it. They didn't try to do too much ornamentation. And the other nice feature is it's all in the details. Like this home has these extra tall windows and doors that go all the way to the ceiling. These are truly floor to ceiling windows, and it just gives a super clean, crisp look to this living room. You can kind of see here facing that fireplace. I love the wood paneling flanking. Again, very simple, very elegant, not trying too hard. Here, this gives you a look kind of this multi-level home, right? Like the split level. So you kind of come up from the entry here and then you go up another level to this dining room, but you've got great sight lines. And believe it or not, in the 1960s, that was unusual. Most homes were very compartmentalized. Kind of looking back at that living room from another direction. And this is back up towards that dining space where the roof actually comes up. And we'll go up here. And you've got this beautiful sort of parquet floor laid in here. We've got a balcony, again, wall to wall, floor to ceiling, all the way to the top windows. And one of the things that's super cool about these custom homes is these little details. And I want to point this out over here. This is actually a foldable wall section. And this covers up kind of this like little service counter between the kitchen and the dining room. So the idea is that when you're getting things set up or getting ready to have a meal, you can use this space. And then when you're actually ready to sit down to eat, you can close this off, kind of making the kitchen separate. So it's sort of a best of both worlds. A lot of these custom built homes are just full of these cool little details, these things where somebody actually thought, how are we going to use this home? Another view of this dining room space. And you can kind of see, again, this beautiful sort of hidden wall and hidden door that goes into the kitchen. So kind of stepping into this kitchen, is this a huge kitchen? No. And I might actually, if I were to own this home, I might consider taking out this little wall and expanding the kitchen to this whole eating area space. So the kitchen is this whole area in here. Again, this is the backside of that little service bar that leads to that dining room. I think I might make this whole thing a kitchen. You've got cool flush frame cabinetry, the original countertops. I think this is one of those kitchens too where you really want to kind of sensitively design it. Like they didn't go overboard with everything. They really sort of made an attempt again to keep it simple. Wall ovens, stove. This is the primary suite. Again, this beautiful parquet floor to ceiling doors and windows, and a direct patio that is off this space. Super cool closet space. We've kind of got this like dressing area that could either be like a little office or something off to the side. And again, very clean cabinetry. And look at these doors. They follow that same pattern of true kind of floor to ceiling door openings. Lots of cool little details. This is that sort of private patio off the primary suite. Just kind of a cool feature. Like clearly somebody thought about how all these spaces are going to be used. Maybe this is the space where you enjoy a glass of wine in the evenings. It's private. It's kind of separate from the rest of the yard space. And it's a pretty good space at that. When you've got 35,000 square feet, you can have a lot of space. We've got a secondary bedroom here with these parquet floors. And by the way, at this point in time, these types of floors throughout was not common here in Southern California. This was much more of an East Coast type of a design choice. It makes me wonder if the original builders of this home were from the East Coast. Another cool little detail in this vanity space, you'll notice the graining actually follows through from the drawer face down through the door there, and on this one as well. Just one of those cool little things that says somebody actually cared and went the extra mile. These bathrooms are in great shape. I think really you could do some just very sort of judicious kind of, maybe what you might say refreshing. This is that lower space that we saw down there. It's kind of like a rec room type space. Here, like I said, I think it might have originally been a garage, not really sure, or some extra car storage space, though it's got a fireplace. And again, that really cool flagstone flooring. You see the built-ins on the wall. I mean, honestly, back when this was originally done, they would have called this like a rumpus room. Maybe today it could be a home theater, billiards room, man cave. I think we've kind of modified, what we expect. We've got a little bar area built in over there. I like the paneled walls and kind of the ceiling detail. And you've got the steps leading down into this space. You can see there. This is the back side of that bar area. Like I said, the feeling of this is that this might have been done a little bit after the main house, but I'm not sure. And then we've got a laundry space down here underneath the home as well. And then here we've got this bigger backyard space with a manicured garden. I'm not sure that this is necessarily my personal style, but boy, have they executed this well. I think you just don't see this here in Southern California. So, I mean, if you're a fan of these kind of gardens, that sort of Victorian era gardens you stroll through, this is exactly that kind of garden with paths. We've got another space over here on the other side of the house. I mean, really, there is just a lot of outdoor space, and you've got a good amount of privacy from the neighbors, lots of greenery. You're not looking at walls, you're not looking at fences, you're not looking at other houses. And really, that's kind of a cool, unique thing. You'll see we've got a swimming pool hidden over here. By the way, personal pet peeve of mine is putting the swimming pool right next to the house. I like there to be a little bit of distance. Today, especially when we've got cameras and splash alarms, I think the safety aspect of that is greatly enhanced. Now, maybe back 20, 30 years ago, people were afraid to have a pool that wasn't right next to the house because they were afraid about their kids falling in. Today, though, I think between cameras and everything else, I think we've kind of gotten covered. And again, I like that this area is also somewhat separate. I think this could really be developed as well into an outdoor entertaining space, maybe an outdoor grill. And then we've got these decks right up above. I mean, are there some signs of deferred maintenance here? Of course there are, but we're at $1.1 million on this house. I think there's a lot of room to go up on a home like this. There's a lot of space. We can see we do have some secondary garage space back over here in this kind of motor court area. Just really, this is a super, super cool house. Yes, it's a project. Yes, it needs some love. But boy, what an amazing property this will be when you're done. And when you're starting at $1.1 million, I mean, this gives you a lot of room to go. I mean, look at this upper approach from the street. Just a cool house. This gives you a little bit of an overhead view of how this home is sort of nestled in there. You've got the mountains in the background. I mean, this is a great part of Covina that honestly a lot of people don't know about. It's kind of a hidden area. This really kind of lays out the site to you, right? You've got kind of coming here from the street, coming up and around, just a really cool piece of property and a really, really cool home situated. If this is something that you're interested in, absolutely, we would love to show it to you. If this is not a home that you're interested in, but you love architecture or unique homes, I mean, we have a saying around here. It is life is too short and homes are too expensive to live in something boring. We have options really at all price ranges, from entry level 1-bedroom condos that have architectural interest all the way up to multi-million-dollar homes. We have you kind of covered here in Southern California. Don't hesitate to reach out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Questions, comments, we love them. We will see you again real soon.